across Iran. 6 explosions heard just a short while ago. Renewed sounds of explosions have been heard in Tehran. In Iran, Israel is now conducting widespread attack. The visuals that you are seeing on your screens are the latest visuals coming in. Iran is now bombing Tehran, and these are the 6th new attacks that have now taken place.
In response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the State of Israel, right now, the Israel Defense Forces is conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran. The regime in Iran and its proxies in the region have been relentlessly attacking Israel since October 7th on 7 fronts, including direct attacks from Iranian soil. Like every other sovereign country in the world, the State of Israel has the right and the duty to respond. Our defensive and offensive capabilities are fully mobilized. We will do whatever necessary to defend the State of Israel and the people of Israel. In response to
Gaurav, we have seen how these are the latest explosions that are taking place, and there is a pattern, Gaurav, that we have noticed. The IDF spokesperson, after all the massive explosions that take place, they come out with a statement clarifying the reason why they are doing what they are doing, and also, they make sure that they tell the people that the war is not against you, the war is against those people who want to wipe out Israel. So those are the kind of statements repeatedly we have seen coming out from Israel.
You're absolutely right. That's what, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said when Israel went after Hamas in Gaza, when it went after Hezbollah in the southern part of Lebanon and in Beirut. And of course, even now, they've repeatedly said that they're not against the good people of Persia. They're not against the people of Iran. They're only against the regime in Iran that Israel has described as the brutal, evil regime of Ayatollah Khamenei. So you're absolutely right, and you and I were just discussing. This is a wave attack that Israel is currently undertaking. The first wave and now the second wave of attacks that's currently underway. We are told that this second wave of attack is not just limited to Iran, but there are some targets that have been taken down in Syria and some targets in Iraq, and which is the air defense system that is being taken down. So this is a very precise military operation that's being undertaken to degrade Iran's air defense capabilities. The moment their surface-to-air missiles, their air defense shield, and they have the S-300, they have the Russian-made S-300 missile defense shield. The moment that is neutralized, then Iran would be extremely vulnerable to another wave or multiple waves of Israeli air attacks, missile attacks, drone attacks, and whether it's military installations or any installations that are considered very close to the regime, especially the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, or the Presidential Palace or other places which are associated with Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. So they appear to be primarily Israel's targets, the military targets first, military defense system first, where missiles are manufactured, where missiles are stored, and where military warships are made. All of these are the initial targets from what sources were telling India today when all of these targets were being planned. We're still waiting to officially hear from the IDF the targets that have been taken down or attacked, and how many of them were successful and how many were not successful, because Iran does have an air defense system that got activated to take down some of the incoming missiles and threats. Aishwarya.
Well, Gaurav, whenever we see these images, the one thing that one is reminded of is the Operation Wrath of God. So now that's what everyone is reminded of when we see these kind of bombarding taking place, because Israel, very, very clear, has been maintaining over the past many decades that if they go after something, even if it takes a lot of time, the focus of Israel is to eliminate the people and completely eliminate them. So with regards to what Israel has been doing over the past many years, and specifically if we talk about the Munich massacre, the wrath of God is also something, Gaurav, which people are reminded of.
Well, Israel has a stated policy. From the time the country came into existence, they've been surrounded by hostile powers while they've defeated them militarily. Whether we talk about the Six-Day War or you talk about the response to the Munich terror attack, Munich Olympics attack, or the Yom Kippur War, or any other time, while they've sought to have peaceful relations with their neighbors, and the Camp David Accord did ensure that they had good relations with Egypt and were able to secure a border, but they have had hostile neighbors, and especially with Iran and its proxies, the Hamas, the Hezbollah, the Houthis, and this is where they have systematically gone after their target. While they were surprised during 7th of October by Hamas, and they were misled into believing that Hamas wanted peace and governance of Gaza, but subsequently the Mossad was able to identify the location of all top commanders of Hezbollah, and they were systematically taken down, and Hezbollah was the strongest weapon in Iran's arsenal. The moment Hezbollah was weakened, Iran is considerably weakened, and this is where Israel has chosen this opportunity to, 1, target Hamas, 2, target Hezbollah, 3, take on the rebels, whether it's the Houthi rebels or the Shia rebels in Iraq and Syria, and then directly attack Iran. So Israel is fighting a war on 7 fronts and is on top of the escalation ladder on all 7 fronts, even though it's facing severe casualties of its own.
Thank you, Gaurav, for putting everything in perspective. My colleague Gaurav Samant, who was at the war front, putting things in perspective. Now this seems to be a long-drawn war, and now it is the Israel which is striking back and attacking various points in Iran. In fact, my colleague Rajesh Pawar sent us this report on Israel's retaliation against Iran. Take a look.
It is confirmed now that Israel's retaliation against Iran has begun. Several explosions were heard in the capital city of Iran, in Tehran, especially in the western parts of Tehran, where IRGC's headquarters are located. Also, explosions were heard in certain cities in the northern part of Iran. Now, it's not exactly known right now what targets have exactly been hit in the northern parts of Iran. But this attack was anticipated sometime in this weekend, and it has started. Israeli air defense, as has been reported by several people in Israeli defense forces, is on total alert. Iron Dome as well as Arrow 1, Arrow 2 system is on full alert because a retaliation from Iran on Israel is expected now. And IDF has not just attacked targets in Iran, it has also targeted several targets in Baghdad, Damascus and Beirut at the same time. So as we speak right now, attacks are going on and explosions are being heard all over Tehran right now. What all targets have been hit is not yet clear, but is likely to become clear in any time next 12 hours.